train is en route to its destination. Please have patience while we wait for its arrival.
She just sounds like a PA system.
You okay, man? Nerves still messing with ya?
Well, yes, a bit. I'm worried that we're headed to the final showdown without certain details being sorted out.
I feel the same. There's still the question of Irina and this world itself. Not to mention the fact that we're not even sure what exactly it is we're going to fight.
I am not sure how much help I will be, but if you'd like, I can share with you what I know. Please be aware that this will involve a degree of speculation, but I should be able to provide some useful information.
Y'all remember in... I can't remember if it was Base P5 or Royal, but I was like, man, Lavenza's never coming back. The twins are too marketable. Lavenza's never coming back. And then Atlas was like, I bet. I fucking bet. Every P5 spin-off, Lavenza, fuck you. It's like, alright, cool. You know what? I'm glad to be wrong. Fair enough, sir. You put me in my place. Alright then.
I too have been conducting investigations into the nature of Salmael's existence. What I have found suggests it is the materialization of an instinct which exists subconsciously in the human heart.
So, do you mean it's a sort of malevolent god, like Yaldabaoth?
No, that's more like Nyx and what was it called in the answer? Erebus? Was it Erebus? It was like the manifestation of like human desire for... I think it was actually just like Oblivion. Like human desire just to end it all in like hard times and stuff. I need to look. Hang on a minute. Google. Was it Erebus? Yeah, Erebus. Here we go. Erebus was the grand manifestation of humanity's grief and negative emotions. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so yeah, so then what was Nyx? Wait a minute. Erebus was humanity's manifestation of humanity's like negative emotions born from the what's it called? What's it called? The Sea of Unconsciousness? What is it called? The thing where like all persona and shadows come from. Is it called the Sea? Google. Hang on. Persona. Is it the Sea of Unconsciousness? I've not had to actually like, deep dive into like SMT, like grand scale, greater picture lore in a hot minute. The collective unconsciousness, that's it, not the Sea of Unconsciousness. The Sea of Souls. Yeah, the Sea of Souls, which is linked to the collective unconsciousness. Okay, cool, yeah. So Erebus was created as a manifestation of humanity's negative emotions and desire for an out, pretty much, from the collective unconsciousness. What was Nyx? Oh god, there's like 17 paragraphs explaining what Nyx is. Alright, maybe not. Nyx is not a manifestation of collective thought, unlike Nyarlathotep, Izanami, Yaldabaoth, Erebus, and Salmael. Oh, there we go. But an almighty astronomical entity who appeared from outer space, who is linked to the collective unconsciousness. Okay. God. I've not had the deep dive into SMT wikis for a while. But okay, yeah, so like Erebus, not like Nyx. And Yaldabaoth... No, Open it up again. Yaldabaoth, I don't think was a manifestation, but I could be entirely wrong. I know, the one from Strikers, that was essentially an AI that was hooked up to the collective unconsciousness and thus became a god, a machine god. So I wouldn't count that as a malevolent one. I wouldn't count that as a manifestation. That was an evolution into a godhood. But let's see here. 705 Yaldabaoth. Good old Yaldabaoth. Strange Journey, SMT 4, Devil Summoner. Here we go, Persona 5. Oh no, he was made from humanity's distorted desires for sloth. Okay, no, yeah, so Yaldabaoth was also a manifestation. Okay, there's a strong goddamn distinction between actual gods given power through collective unconsciousness and beings created from. So, okay, yeah, so Yaldabaoth, I guess Samael in this case. Actually, but, okay, I need to question this, but then, so Yaldabaoth and Erebus were manifestations from the human psyche, from the collective unconsciousness. Nyx was not, but she used the collective consciousness because of reasons. I'm not going to dig into that. It's been far too long. But then Samael. Here's my question and issue. Like I say I joked it. It's not really a joke, but like I said, like, okay, what's the god and why? But you're telling me that Toshiro specifically, his mental state is so complex and grand that it can serve as the basis for a god on its own, as opposed to Yaldabaoth or Erebus, which needed all of humanity. That makes no sense.
Unlike the god of control, who was born from a collective yearning for idleness, Samael is, how should I put this, a universal instinct that's burdened man since the beginning of time.
Okay. So, not a desire, but just an instinctual impulse. Fair enough. Functionally the same, it's just older and stronger.
I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to die. Man's innate desire of self-preservation is another way to put it. One might call it a material embodiment of this instinct, born from an ocean of human subconsciousness.
So, kinda like the personification of people's consciousness that goes, "No, don't hurt me," right? When you put it that way, it doesn't sound so bad, but...
Perhaps it was the passage of time, or perhaps it was a change in the nature of the human soul. In any case, a transformation occurred for the purpose of keeping pain at bay. Whether you consider the battles one fights to assert their convictions, or the will driving them towards their fruition, it seems to think that all potential sources of pain ought to be eradicated. If there is anything that does differentiate it from the god of control, it is that Samael believes it is protecting humanity by eliminating individuals with ideologies it deems threatening.
So, Samael thinks it's protecting humanity, huh? Oh, good grief, that's one of the worst types to deal with.
And that means it'll do whatever it takes to destroy those it deems likely to cause people pain, correct?
Okay, but again, why is Toshiro Saike apparently so strong and complex on his own that it can manifest a god when everything else required the entirety of humanity to do so?
The words and actions it has exhibited thus far would seem to suggest so.
Ah, crap. Now I'm confused again. So, in simpler terms,
Well, this might not be perfectly accurate, but Salmael's stated goal is to ensure that people don't get hurt or suffer. And in order to accomplish that, it came to the conclusion that any risk taken to fight for something is undesirable. Does that sound about right?
Furthermore, given our nature as humans, there will always be those who take a stand to initiate change. And that gives Salmael an endless supply of people to stamp out for having these dangerous ideas.
Dangerous ideas. In other words, they possess the will of revolution, a desire to take a stand against authority.
so this time around, Toshiro fits the bill, huh?
That would seem to be the case.
I'm very taken by this drawing here. Could I give my opinion on it?
Maybe leave that for later.
Alright, that's enough about that. Now that we have a decent grasp on Salmael, what's next?
Yes, though to be precise, I should clarify that's only half correct.
Half correct?
This place. It's a spiritual world ruled by Salmael. It was built using your cognition, Toshiro. In more succinct terms, this is a metaverse Salmael constructed to break your will. I have come to the conclusion that that is the most accurate way to describe it.
That seems like a lot of trouble just to take me out.
Under normal circumstances, it would have been able to erase your will simply by invading your mind. But a budding power to resist its domination had already taken root inside of you.
Power to resist? Oh, I get it. You mean a persona?
Precisely. The persona is an armor of rebellion, meant to resist those who would try to exert their influence over others. Like the Phantom Thieves, interfering with those who possess this power is no small task.
And you're saying this power of the will had started to take root in me as well?
It is quite plausible if there was something to trigger it.
Anything happened to you recently that rings a bell? Like, you ever think, I'm having a burst of willpower, baby?
That's quite a crude analogy. Oh,
So it did help you think of one.
it was the end of last year. As I told you before, I'd been undecided on whether to indict my father for his wrongdoings. And it was right around that time when you all hijacked the live TV broadcast. Here I was struggling to stand up to my father while you were boldly proclaiming your beliefs to the entire nation. When I thought about it that way, I felt inspired to show the same courage as you. As for what happened next, well, you already know that part.
It is still only a possibility, but a faint seed of power may have taken root within him then. Of course, a persona can be awakened in other ways too.
I see. I think I'm starting to understand.
Agreed. In other words, with ordinary people, Salmael is able to invade their minds whenever it pleases. But with Toshiro, the subtle emergence of a power to resist prevented it from interfering.
These drawings are so, unique. I'm kind of at a loss here, but yeah, that sounds about right.
Additionally, Toshiro's-san being able to resist Samael's power meant he posed an even greater threat.
So is Toshiro the only person in the entirety of humanity who has ever had the power to resist Samael's abilities, and thus Samael had to create an entire world for them to break their will? Like, there's no way this has not happened in the past. In which case then, how prevalent is the ability to gain a persona? How prevalent in the course of humanity is it to gain a persona? If that's literally just what it takes. If the potential to gain a persona is what made Samael go, okay, damn, this one's gotta go. How prevalent? Because there's no way Toshiro is the first person ever. And also, like, Samael never did this with us. Like, all our characters have been through some shit. Samael never did this with us? That doesn't quite add up.
So it was willing to do whatever it took to snuff him out.
And the moment it made the decision to eradicate my will for social change, it created this place.
Yes, the metaverse we currently find ourselves in is called the Kingdoms. Salmael must have attempted to purge your will by using the memories which lay dormant in your heart.
Well, I never would have guessed there was a war being waged inside my own mind.
Even so, your subconscious was putting up a fight against Salmael's invasion from the very beginning. And amidst it all, it's very likely that's when you were born within Toshiro Kasukabe's spirit.
Me?
Just like Salmael used the individuals from Toshiro's memory as symbols of domination, there was another individual in Toshiro's heart who embodied the spirit of revolution.
I get it, but on the grander scale, if she's exists as long as human's psyche has existed, there's no way Toshiro's the first. And again, in which case, how prevalent is the ability to gain a persona? How often has Samael done this to people? And why on an individual basis? That does... okay.
Harry.
With your mind under attack, you subconsciously materialized Eri and entrusted your hope to her. This hope was the power of your persona, the thing that Salmael was trying to destroy before it fully formed.
So in effect, this is what you're saying, yes? Samael created the kingdoms to try and quash the potential of Toshiro's power. In response, Toshiro's heart created Irina as a symbol of revolution and the keeper of his power. So every battle the Rebel Corps fought was ultimately an effort to protect Toshiro's will.
Oh, not bad, Fox.
I can't let you take all the glory, can I?
What are you trying to prove to her anyways?
Things were looking pretty grim before the Phantom Thieves got here, so I'm not sure if I'd have lasted.
Yeah, why are we here?
You had only a fraction of power, but it was also very faint. It stands to reason that you would be unable to stave off Salmael's invasion on your own. However, no matter how persistently Salmael attacked, it was never able to completely wither out your will. Thus, hitting the limits of its patience, Salmael opted for a last resort. That is when it must have dragged the real Toshiro Kasukabe into this metaverse.
And then it used my fiancé, my father, and my imposter. Each one of my traumas trying to corner me.
It wasn't able to break Toshiro's heart with Irina defending it, so it went for the throat instead.
Ugh, seriously? Using a person's memories to try and break them down emotionally is some real sick stuff.
You got that right. For the people? Who's kidding?
That didn't go according to plan either, did it?
No, it did not. Therefore, it would stand to reason that Salmael is also in a difficult position. The fact that it showed itself would seem to indicate the intention to settle things with its own hands.
Which means we're in for a head-to-head fight, right?
Yes, you have the general idea. I know we went through all this relatively quickly, but we will be arriving shortly. I will be happy to answer any more questions to the best of my ability after we arrive.
Thank you, Miss Lavenza. To put it plainly, the enemy is yet another nosy god wannabe. It's not going to be an easy fight, but when has that ever stopped the Phantom Thieves?
Pardon me. We will be arriving momentarily, everyone. Are all your preparations in order?
Hell yeah! Bring it on!
I would have liked to enjoy this pleasant train ride a bit longer, but I suppose that will have to wait until we clean up this mess.
Our morale couldn't be higher. Onwards!
No cause for concern, I see. Very well. I will take us right in.
Huh?
We have arrived safely. Please, watch your step getting off.
Excuse me, but is that what you call safe?
The world did 3 whole rotations.
I'm dizzy.
Sorry. Could I get a bag or something?
Anyhow, it looks like we made it to the enemy stronghold.
Do you think Samael's waiting up ahead?
Yes, but I wouldn't expect a warm reception. I would suggest going further only when amply prepared.
This is the final battle. Let's get the win and stop this nutcase for good.
Yeah. And I'll settle the score with my past once and...
You don't make it easy to have a cool exit, do you?
Again, though, I'm still not entirely 100% sold on the premise that is being sold to me here. Like, there's too many, like, questions. Oh, never mind. Questions for Lavenza. Here we go. Let's see what's answered. Because, like, I feel like not enough is fully explained properly.
By the look on your face, I take it there is still something on your mind. I am more than happy to shed some light on your understanding of the situation, if you would like. Of course. So what would you like to discuss first? As I told you before, this is the Velvet Room, but with an altered appearance. The appearance of the Velvet Room will change depending on the visitor's state of mind.
Now, I'm gonna be real. The train is cool. I wish the train was saved for like Persona 5 or Persona 6. Like, it's cool to have as like a one-off thing here, but the idea of like a train with like the different cars, like, I feel like that would be neat to have as the actual main appearance of the Velvet Room for a game. And it could probably work in with the theme of a game. But the problem is now, because it's been used here, I don't think you could reuse and work it in. Because they've done a good job of making it different every time. Like, 3 was an elevator, 4 was a limo, and 5 was a jail cell. I feel like the train could have been saved for another game.
But typically, once an appearance has been determined, a second transformation should not be possible. Therefore, I believe this world and Salmael are responsible for the current aberration from the norm.
Is this related to what you said before? About the room being unstable?
Salmael is an entity that specializes in rooting out threatening ideologies.
Why does the sound in this game go quiet sometimes?
In other words, the ability to counteract is presumably one of its strengths. However, nullifying either one entirely seems to have been beyond its means. Furthermore, because the Velvet Room regained its form from within a state of limbo, I presume its current appearance is only temporary. to assume so. Between the interference of Salmael, the growth of your own heart, and the will of Toshiro Kasukabe, the present appearance is likely the result of these irregularities happening all at once.
That makes sense. Well, at any rate, having this train has been a major convenience. For now, let's just be grateful for it.
Is there anything else you wish to ask me? Salmael was the entity responsible for creating this world in Toshiro Kasukabe's heart. This much I told you already, correct?
What was going on with Marie and all the Legionnaires? How'd they actually come to be? Because they didn't seem like shadows to me.
Those who reigned as rulers were created from memories and images. They were idols Salmael conjured for the purpose of emotionally cornering Toshiro Kasukabe. I believe you have all witnessed an entity being born from an unintentional breakdown of cognition before?
You mean from Futaba's palace, right? The cognitive form of her mother.
In actuality, they were fragments of Salmael's own existence, with the visual appearances of their real-world selves.
So all that time, they were treating Toshiro like their plaything, when they were the actual puppets all along, huh? Wait, does that mean the Legionnaires were this way too?
Yes, but unlike their rulers, it seems like Salmael used shadows that were drifting in the subconscious sea. And in order to force those shadows to submit to its will, it absorbed them. The power crystals that appeared when the Legionnaires were defeated were likely remnants of this process. Is there anything else you wish to discuss?
Power crystals? What? Madam?
Her case is another extremely rare one. A cognitive presence, a persona, a shadow. It may be best to think of her as a being that shares attributes with all of these.
Yeah, no, it's not me. It's not me. Like, I've been wondering this entire game. I thought I was crazy, but no. The sound mixing for the voice acting, up and down. Like, randomly just goes really quiet for some reason.
Meaning...
Toshiro Kasukabe created Irina when his will and the power within his heart were struggling to be heard. She was the embodiment of Toshiro's feelings of hope, revolution, and resistance.
When you describe it like that, she sure does sound a lot like a cognitive being.
Subconsciously, Toshiro entrusted her with his power, the seed of a persona, figuratively speaking. One could say that while in this state, she was a cognitive being with an inner persona. Typically, personas and shadows are two sides of the same coin. And the entity known as Irina carried the light and darkness of Toshiro's heart.
So, she was born from cognition, but she's also Toshiro's persona. Which would explain why Irina's still herself even after she awakened to her power.
Furthermore, even though this area may have been conquered, a portion of it remains connected to people's hearts. A possibility remains that the events that took place here had a subconscious effect on the real Eri Natsuhara's heart.
Oh.
No. But
Oh, okay then.
this is all speculation on an exceptional circumstance and exclusive to this specific situation. It would be disingenuous of me to go on about theories I cannot substantiate.
Okay, so what we're saying is, spoiler alert, we're gonna get to the end credit scene and Eri's gonna show up, be like, hey, what up, bitch? What up, bitch? I'm back. Let's go.
Is there anything else you wish to discuss?
Thank you very much, Miss Lavenza. I feel like it's all making a lot more sense to me now.
It makes sense, but there's still massive gaping holes.
If I was able to be of assistance, then I could not ask for anything more. Now then, this is as far as the train can take you. Please proceed on your own from here, and good luck facing Salmael.
Like,
Fortunately,
she answered
despite
questions.
the change in appearance, the Velvet Room has retained its usual functions. I shall be able to assist you with persona fusions and the like whenever necessary.
That's a huge help, Miss Lavenza. What would we do without you? Okay, I say we'd better prep for battle before moving out.
Yeah, like, she answered questions, which I'm thankful for, but she didn't answer the questions I needed her to answer. She didn't answer the ones that I still had, because like, there's holes in the function of this situation. Defense never feels like it's a problem, so we may as well just go for this again, and then once I unlock this, I'll probably just take them away. We'll keep the SP boosts. Whoever boosts SP, we will keep that shit. I literally never use this character, but hey, I guess. Hey, I guess we'll give her some shit too, why not? Alright. Let us be off.